Sometimes I just like to read articles because I think they're funny. So we're going to have a look at this one here by Derek Hunter. Democrats really suck at this stuff. It's very subtle. That headline could refer to so many things, nearly everything as a matter of fact. Just about the only thing Democrats do well is lie with a straight face. And that's accounting for the curve being ruined by Nancy Pelosi's inability to move most of her face thanks to Botox. But no lie they've told comes close to the ones being casually tossed around regarding January 6th. Their sham hearings have taken me from someone disgusted by the events of that day to being more disgusted by the way these leftists are exploiting and lying about it. Watching the events of that day, I was sickened. I love the Capitol building for having crawled through every inch of it when I work there, for its beauty and for what it represents. Watching jackasses trash it was awful. Watching these committed jackasses trash everything that building stands for is worse. It was bad enough when, in desperation to get people to care, Democrats started calling January 6th the worst thing to happen to the country since the Civil War. Having lived through 9/11 and learned about Pearl Harbor, the Second World War, the Kennedy assassination, the Carter administration, the push to make Lena Dunham a thing, we all knew that was bullshit. That realization didn't deter Democrats. These are people who insist plus-size models who are over 100 pounds or more overweight are perfectly healthy. Men can get pregnant. They aren't known for their deference to reality when it comes to imposing their agenda. In Thursday's hearing, Chairman Benny Thompson started off with a video. Just because he has a coof doesn't mean he's going to skip out on having his face seen in primetime television. Some things are more important than a pandemic, in which he talked about the armed and violent mob savagely beating and killing law enforcement officers. That is a lie. That is an easily proven lie. Not one single legacy media outlet called it out. No police officers were killed that day. One died the next day from natural causes. 2 others committed suicide weeks later for reasons unknown. Ask Hillary Clinton about it. But Democrats would have you believe those suicides were due to a bad day at work a month earlier, which is absurd and gross. But Democrats never have to worry about their lies being called out by people who, presumably ironically for a laugh, proudly proclaim they speak truth to power. I forced myself to watch Thursday. I couldn't force myself to care. I haven't cared since about day 2. The lies of the left about January 6th are the bigger threat to democracy than a bunch of people taking selfies inside the rotunda that day. This was as much of a coup as a bowl of soup. What was the plan? To chant in the halls and what? And why were Capitol Police letting marchers into the building, holding open the doors? Why is there no curiosity about that from the Democrats? Because they know it wasn't a coup. The Capitol is huge. The violence happened at the House end of the Mall side. People were invited in by the police on the Senate side from the Supreme Court, about a city block away. The people walking in couldn't have had any idea what was happening on the other side of the campus, but the police sure as hell should have heard it over the radio. Why they hold open the doors? It's not that the committee doesn't know, it's that they don't want the public to know. While they read a Trump tweet to make him look like he was indifferent to what was happening that day, they deliberately ignored 2 others where the president condemned the violence while it was happening. Those were sent in the time we know Democrats claim Trump was silent. Why would they lie when the truth is so easily accessible? Because they know those dumb enough to fall for their scripted propaganda aren't going to look for it, and the media sure as hell won't bring it up either. And scripted it was. Every committee member who spoke Thursday was reading from the same centrally located teleprompter, eyes going side to side while locked on the screen. They'd ask a witness so-called the leading question, which was followed by a very short video clip speaking to exactly what was just said. You either recognize the whole thing was rehearsed, or you have to believe there is a control room with infinite clips and a staff able to play any one of them at a moment's notice, because a committee member who doesn't know the material well enough to speak off the cuff on it has an encyclopedic knowledge of the thousands of hours of video they've compiled and can call for very specific, heavily edited clips when needed. The whole thing was a bad dinner theater with a meal that gives you diarrhea. Honestly, if the members of the committee don't care enough about the material to speak extemporaneously on it, forgive me if I question their sincerity. It's amazing how bad the Democrats are at this. This level of failure only comes from years of knowing that they have a press that not only won't hold them accountable, but will lay down their professional credibility to insulate them from any exposure of their frauds. When you don't have to worry about being called out for your lies get lazier and lazier. Democrats are great at propagandizing to their choir. They suck at trying to win anyone over to their side. They don't try anymore. They simply demand obedience and set out to destroy anyone who won't comply. It's progressive, it's Hitlerific, and it's why they absolutely must be destroyed this November. And that is all for today. I will see you all next time.